What is up, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of the Formula One Gridlock podcast. My name, of course, is Nathan Charles, and I'm joined once again by my co-host, Chase Bozung. Chase, how you doing?
I'm doing great. How are you doing?
You know, Chase, I'm doing well. I feel like I've had this bug that has just stuck with me for a while. It's not COVID. I got tested for COVID a long time ago, but
Yeah.
I don't know, just some sinus thing that just is really sticking with me. It's really annoying.
Well, let's hope you get better watching some F1, right?
Certainly do. And this week, Russian GP, fantastic race. I loved it. I think this was the best race we've had so far. I think
Really?
it was. I think it was.
That's a tough one because there's a lot of really good races.
There have been some fantastic races, but this one, for me, Chase, this one had it all. This one had it all. It had a potential, first-time victor in Lando Norris. It had a nice and fast race where we had a lot of a lot of fast cars going fast, but then we also had the rain and we had some cars spinning out there towards the end. We had some pit stop issues. We had some do we go in for the inters? Do we stay on the slicks? It had that. Man, this race just had everything. And of course, as a McLaren fan, I really enjoyed it. Didn't love the end, but it was a fantastic
hear me out.
race. Go ahead.
I get all of that, but maybe it's a bit cynical of me. But for me, it can't be that good of a race because of who won it. I hate to be that way, but
I disagree with you on that, man.
I see it, but
it's not about the destination, Chase. It's about the journey, how we got there. Yeah,
to me, both matter.
That's valid. That's a valid criticism, but
yeah,
I loved it.
Mind you, I'm saying that even if Max had won it, I'm talking for it to be a phenomenal race, it's got to be one of the people who don't win it, who really worked for it to be oh yeah, that's a good race. Anyway, sorry, not to get nitty and gritty, but
no, I love when you get nitty on me. I love that, Chase. All right, well, let's get into it. Let's do the rundown. We had first place, Lewis Hamilton, the Mercedes. Second place, Max Verstappen in the Red Bull. Carlos Sainz in third in the Ferrari. Daniel Ricciardo in fourth in the McLaren. Fifth place, Valtteri Bottas. Sixth place, Fernando Alonso. Seventh place, seventh place. I mean, the guy was leading the race the majority of the time, and just, oh man, the ending. We'll talk about it. Seventh place, Lando Norris. Eighth place, Kimi Räikkönen. It's a decent placing for Kimi there.
Yeah.
Ninth place, Sergio Perez. That's tough for Red Bull. Ninth place. That's not great. 10th place, scoring some points, George Russell in the Williams. He beats out 11th place Lance Stroll in the Aston Martin and his teammate. 12th place, Sebastian Vettel in the Aston Martin. 13th place, Pierre Gasly in the AlphaTauri. 14th place, the second Alpine, Esteban Ocon. 15th place, the second Ferrari, Charles Leclerc. Oof, that is a tough race from Charles Leclerc. 15th. 16th, Antonio Giovinazzi in the second Alpha. 17th place, Yuki Tsunoda in the Alpha. 18th place, Nikita Mazepin, down 2 laps. And we had 2 DNFs. We had Nicholas Latifi and Mick Schumacher. Yeah, I mean, what a race. I loved every second of it. I couldn't normally with these races, the first 10 laps, you're locked in because people are tight, things are going, and then you kind of get lulled into a little bit of into a little, maybe you're not watching, maybe you're looking at your phone, and then around lap 20 we start to get the pit stops and what's going to happen there. But Chase, I swear, I couldn't take my eyes off this race. I thought it was fantastic from point one. We had Lando starting out, and then he gets passed by Carlos early on, and then after a while, Lando is able to take it back, and man, I just, even from the beginning, and obviously the end is nuts with the rain and everything that happened there, but I mean, even the beginning of this race was really, really good. So that leads me into our first question, Chase, which is, of course, what is your one-word description?
I chose it based off of, like you said, the destination, but devastating, dude. Absolutely devastating. I've never wanted someone to win more and see them lose in F1, and I haven't been watching that long, so take that as you will. But
Sure.
It stung. I was so happy for him, and and then it just, oof, you know.
I absolutely understand. The word I chose was in the similar vein. I chose agonizing chase. Oh,
Mm-hmm.
those last few laps. I just wanted the race to be over. I just wanted Lando to win.
Yep.
He's such a nice guy, like on and off the track.
Yep.
Like he, in my opinion, like even looking at like his like fan base on Twitter. Obviously follow us on Twitter at Formula One Gridlock Podcast. Or F1 Gridlock Pod or whatever our ad is. But
Whatever it may be.
I mean, the outpouring of support that came from, I mean, his fans and his like Twitter stands. People love Lando Norris, and I do as well. He's a tough guy to root against because he's such a
Yeah.
good dude. He's
And
such a
he's
good
not
dude.
really like arrogant or like, like doing dumb things that you're like, oh man, I really wish you hadn't have done that.
No,
You
I
know?
mean, he's such a down to earth guy. I think he even like streamed a lot during
Yeah, he
when
did.
Britain was in their lockdown due to COVID, and I mean he was like on Twitch, racing
Yeah.
and stuff, and connecting with the fans. Like that is exactly what Formula One needs. Like it needs these young guys to come in,
Mm-hmm.
be personable, and obviously, yes, these guys make a lot of money, but at the end
Yeah.
of the day, like we want to be able to connect with these athletes, and they are athletes
Yeah.
on a different level. We want I don't know. That's what
Yeah.
social media has
It
allowed
makes
us to
it
do.
personal, and
It makes it
that
personal.
matters because the more personal connection you have to them, the more you're invested in the sport.
Exactly, exactly. And Lando is, in my opinion, the front runner of guys who's just I mean, he's just a good guy. On and off the track. So you want to see him do well, you want to see him win. You want to see him succeed with McLaren, and to see them get so close
Yeah,
was agonizing. All right, Chase, give me your
that was
driver of the
good.
day. Who you got?
Well, this one's rough, and for those listening at home, we have shared notes, and so what I don't pick, my buddy Nate's gonna pick.
Sure.
So keep that in mind. I'll go with I'll go with Max and let you have Lando because you
Okay.
love McLaren.
I
And
do love
I'm a big
McLaren.
fan of Red Bull. Either way, my point is either way they both did good. I chose
They did.
Max. I mean, back of the grid, right?
Yep.
And
Yep.
he's not alone back there. You can't say, oh, he just walked over Schumacher and Mazepin and
Literally started 20th. Back of the
started
grid.
20th with Bottas, with Leclerc,
Yeah.
which means he didn't just walk over the back half of the grid and waltz into the top 10. He walked over the back half of the grid, arguably someone who should be in the top 5, Bottas, and then someone who should be in the top 10, Leclerc, while walking over the back of the grid to get into top 10. And then, woo, second place?
Mhm.
It's not a 20th, the first story. It's not one of them. But dang, 20th to second, and he fights every step of the way because he can't just walk over the back of the grid because Bottas is there. That's up. We love
Abs-
those.
Absolutely. Absolutely. It was a fantastic race from Max.
Uh-huh.
And I think that this is one of those races that we will look back on if Max does end up coming out on top and winning the championship. This is one of those races that we're going to because he didn't have to do this.
No.
But in this is one of those bigger picture things, right?
Yeah.
Where it's these little moments of brilliance that he has, that he's so consistent, starting from the back of the grid and getting to second place is
Yup.
insanely difficult,
Yeah.
especially when your two closest rivals in Ferrari and in
Uh-huh.
Mercedes are
Uh-huh.
right in front of you. They're right in
Yep.
front of him.
Yeah.
Those are two quality cars that are not easy to pass.
Well,
And
and
Max, man, that it's just incredible. Go ahead.
like I said, it's one thing to walk over. I'm going to say that, and I don't mean this to be mean, but the bad side of the competition. Say what you want. They may be great drivers at the back of the grid, but they don't have a car to beat a Red Bull. It's just not going to happen. Haas isn't going to beat a Red Bull ever. It's not right now. Not going to happen. So to then put him in the back of the grid, and then with Bottas, just to beat the dead horse on this one, I mean, he it's great. I love it. Great racing by Max.
Fantastic, fantastic. And I think, and like I said, this is one of those that we're going to look back on if he wins and are like,
Yeah,
that's why he's the world champion this year. It's because he was
definitely.
able to do insane, insane races like this.
Yep.
Yeah. I mean, my second choice was Max. My first was Lando. I mean,
Yep.
look,
Who's my second choice?
did it end well? No, it did not. Did he have a fantastic race? Yes. He started first. He started first. He got pole position. That's hard to do in a field containing Lewis Hamilton to Max Verstappen. That's hard to do.
Yep.
First place, and he kept it, and he looked like he belonged there the entire race. And then at the end, the rain came, and he made the wrong call. And you know what? I'm okay with that. He had a great race.
Mm-hmm.
Look, he was in, okay. He's in first, right? He knows the car. He's on the slicks. He's on the dries. And the rain starts to come down, and he says, I've got 3 laps left. And he goes, no, I'm not going in. I can do it. And you know what? That was the wrong call.
Yeah.
It was the wrong call. And that sucks. But everything up until that point was perfection. It was amazing.
Yeah. He didn't bring home the cake, but arguably he deserved it.
He absolutely deserved it. He absolutely deserved it.
So
he could have won or lost that race with his decision to either go in, either pit, and then Lewis goes in front of him, or stay out. And he stayed out. And I honestly, I think staying out is the ballsier choice.
It is.
I really do. And so I got to give him all the credit in the world. He didn't win, and honestly ended up in a tough, got the penalty there at the end trying to get over into the pits. Ended up 8th, and that just doesn't. The 8th place just does not do how good of a race he had justice. I'm sorry, it just doesn't.
Well, I'll say this, right? He made the wrong decision, sure. One, he's young. He's only been in the sport for a handful of years. But you know what he did?
I mean, we say that, but he's been in we say he's young, but he's been in it 3 years.
That's young.
But he's
Perez,
been driving
Daniel, Vettel,
He's
Alonso.
been driving this McLaren for 3 years, though.
I get it. I'm just saying
I don't know.
the decisions he made comparatively to the grid, he's one of the youngest on the grid. Like race experience and F1 wise. He gets beaten by this year's rookies and he's tied with a couple other rookies, but then it's like, Vettel, Alonso, Hamilton, Verstappen, Daniel. Like these guys have so much experience. But to continue, he may have made the wrong decision.
Well, he absolutely made the wrong decision.
Yeah.
But I don't know if I want to credit that to his youth, though.
Well, then let's not credit to it his youth. But the point I want to make is he proved that he's good enough to do it.
Absolutely.
He doesn't make that decision. He brings home the win.
Yeah,
so
for sure.
He proved. We knew this, right? But it's nice to have it be proven that he is one of the best on the grid, and he can win. He can win a race with Max Verstappen and Hamilton in the race with him. He didn't win this one, but like on the grid, they don't crash each other out. Lando can he has a shot at it, which not many other drivers on the grid can say, if any.
Yeah, I agree with that. All right, let's shift focus. Let's talk about teams. Chase, next question. Give me your team of the day.
I'm still sticking on that Mercedes train as much as I'm not the biggest fan of the Mercedes train, but I got to choose Mercedes. Listen,
Yep.
They handled it. I'll just say this. They couldn't have handled it better. They won. They could not have handled that better. They let Hamilton, be the star. Then they just fast pit stops, good decisions. And then right at the perfect moment, Hamilton got his chance because he was set up perfectly by his team and everything around him, and he took it home. So I think Mercedes, Mercedes may not be as ecstatic about it because, they want a 1-2, but for a race that they're losing, right? They're not getting first place. The majority of, that's a good one. And I don't choose them often, so.
Yeah, absolutely. We don't neither. I don't think either of us necessarily care for Mercedes. I think it's sort of
Not really. And
it's
it's
sort of
hard
like,
to,
yeah.
well, I was going to say, it's hard to choose them because when they do a 1-2, it's not very special.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, there's not many times where it's like, did they really earn this 1-2? Not really.
Not really. Yeah, you have to give them credit where credit is due.
Mm-hmm.
They were very smart. They pulled Lewis in just at the right time. And Lewis did what Lewis does, and that's win races. I think this was his 100th Grand Prix victory, which, I mean...
Congrats.
Congratulations.
Commendable.
Please stop now. Thanks. For my team of the day, Chase, I had to go with McLaren. I think they had a great race. Here, Lando obviously almost winning it. Daniel getting fourth. That's still a quality result for them. But I think when I'm looking overall at the sport as a whole, this has been an excellent example as to how far McLaren has gotten in a very short time.
Yep, in the past couple of years.
Exactly. I have, like you mentioned earlier, we have not been watching Formula One for that long.
No.
McLaren used to be
big boys.
They used to be the big boys.
Senna. One word, Senna.
Yeah. But in the last 5 years, they have not been great. It's just truth. They've been bad. They've been average. They've been middle of the pack. They've been average. But with Zach Brown and with Andreas Seidel and with these two fantastic drivers, with these two fantastic drivers, this team is, in my opinion, not only better than Ferrari, but they should be a lock for third place.
Yeah.
They are a lock for third place, in my opinion, this year. They are absolutely the best of the rest. And I think the gap is only getting smaller.
Yep.
I think I'm interested to see, oh my gosh, Chase, next year when we get these new car specs, when we get these new engines and these new regulations, Chase, McLaren's going to be scary.
Yep. Especially with Lando. Especially with Daniel. Right?
They are going to be scary. I'm so excited for not only what McLaren is going to do this year, because I think they're going to continue these excellent results, but next year. And so for that reason, they're my team of the day.
Yep.
All right. Well, I think this one is pretty obvious, Chase. We're getting into the worst of the weekend. And there was one glaring bad call.
Yep.
Bad call this weekend.
So
take it over, Chase. Take it over.
Yeah. So I'm pretty much going to gloss over worst of the weekend because it's no surprise. I'll touch on it a bit, but what I want to gloss over into is you're inside the paddock, which is who gets to decide when to come in for wets. Yeah. So I'm going to say this is the worst of the weekend, then I'm going to start giving my opinion on that.
Yeah, please.
So worst of the weekend, Lando's call. Big surprise. Nothing really else bad happened. Bad call. And even if something did, it can't top that. Right? So, worst of the weekend. So, to get into your question, this is really tough, right? Because I do think that the driver should make a lot of the decisions. They are the driver. Let them do their thing. Think about Hamilton, who's like, they'll be like, hey, come in for tires, Hamilton, and he'll be like, nah, fam, I ain't into that. And then he'll win the race. And, you debate whether he would have won it if he came in for tires or not, but he knew what he was doing. He knows his skill, he knows the car, and he took it home. So I do think the drivers should be making a lot of the decisions, but also McLaren has been racing since longer than I have been alive. You think they'd have the knowledge and legacy within inside their team to be able to go, yes, Lando, you don't want tires, but listen, buddy, you need tires. Come get intermediates. And I'm not the biggest fan of them doing that, like, iron fist, come get tires. But I don't know that I'm not inside the company, but I'm willing to bet that they kind of knew he should have intermediates. That they were sitting there and they're like, this guy should have intermediates. And if they had made that decision, he would have walked home with the victory. So it's tough. I don't think there's no definitive line. Yes, the driver should always make the decisions. Yes, the team, the principal, I don't think there's a line. I think it's individual. And I think in this case, McLaren should have put their fist down and said, listen, Lando, we have the weather. We're watching it all right now live. We can see all of the track. We have your teammates' information on how he's driving around the track. Let's get tires on you, buddy. I don't know. That's my thought.
Yeah. I tend to agree with most of your sentiment there. I think this is a case of a young driver, and I know we've been questioning kind of already. Is Lando a young driver still?
Mm-hmm.
He's been in the sport a while, but in the grand scheme of things, he is still a young driver. Yes.
Yep.
When I heard the race comms from Mercedes and from McLaren respectively, I realized how much different the teams are. Do you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Mercedes was very they were very precise, they were very compact, and then as soon as they knew what they wanted to do, they did it.
Yep.
Whereas McLaren kind of I'm trying to find words. Lando's radio engineer gets on and he's basically asking him a question, asking him what do you think about inners? What do you think about inners?
Yeah, he literally you're not saying he literally asked them the question. He literally was hey, do you want inners? Essentially. And
Lando is screw off. No, I don't want inners. I'm doing what I'm doing. And it's as the team, you should be telling the driver what to do, and then the driver has to either go yes or the driver has to go no.
Yeah.
This whole putting the emphasis on him to make a decision, I don't like that at all. I think that's incredibly I don't know. That just feels like I don't know.
Well,
maybe that was just a turn of phrase from the radio engineer, but to me it was why are we putting the decision on Lando where you guys have all the information?
Exactly.
Yes, he knows what the car feels like, but he doesn't know what the car is going to feel like in 5 minutes, and you do.
You can predict it. And I'll say this too. Hold on, I gotta find my thoughts. Darn it.
No, this is a very complex situation, and it happens in an instant.
Yeah.
And I just feel like McLaren really, really royally screwed the pooch on this one.
And I'll say this. Listen, you as the team can say, hey, come get tires. And as the driver, because he's controlling the car, he can say no and stay out. But at the end of the day, you still told him to get tires, right?
Yeah.
So what I'm saying is you tell them, come get tires if you think that's the right decision. And then it's up to them whether they agree with you. And if they do and you win, you can say, told you so. And if they don't and they stay out and they win, they can say they told you so. Or if they lose, you can say, you see my point?
Yeah, I understand.
Because Hamilton does it all the time, like I said. They'll say, hey, come get tires. He'll be like, no, and he'll win or he'll lose.
Mm-hmm.
And at the end of the day, the weight is then on his shoulders. Maybe that's not the best for their mental state, but my point is, you can put your fist down, and if they really don't agree with you, they can do their own thing. But I'm with you. When that race engineer was like, hey, do you want inners? And he proposed it as a question. I was taken aback by that because you rarely hear them asking questions that, have choices. Usually they're like, how's the car? Or whatever.
Yeah.
And to add one thing in, maybe not off of experience, but I have a list of all the ages of every driver right in front of me. Lando is the second youngest on the grid. Not by experience, but he's the second youngest person on the grid. He's only beaten by Yuki.
I was going to say, yeah, Yuki's definitely the youngest.
Yep. So, maybe not experience, but,
I'm asking, how old? 20? Is he 20?
He's 21. They're both 21.
Both 21. Asking a 21-year-old to make a decision like that,
yeah.
That's tough.
And here's the thing we have to remember. He's got 3 years of experience. He entered when he was 18. Max Verstappen entered before he had a driver's license.
Yeah.
Max is 2 years older than Lando, which is still young, right? 23.
That's incredible. That's young. Max just feels like he's been here forever.
And that's the thing. There's a big difference between asking Lando, hey, do you want these tires? And asking Max, who has been in the sport for like 7 years.
Yeah.
It's a huge difference.
It's different. It's just so different.
So, I don't know. And mind you, by the way, the grid's pretty compact. There's only like 7 or 8 drivers that aren't in their 20s.
Yeah.
And there's only one that's in his 30s, and that's Raikkonen, and he'll be out soon. So, but yeah. Anyway, sorry for the little tangent there.
No. Hold on. Well, because Lewis is in his 30s.
Lewis is 36.
Yeah.
Sebastian.
Did you mean 40s? You said there was only one driver in his 30s, and I said,
no, sorry, I meant 40. I meant 40. Yep.
I was like, I'm pretty sure both.
No, so Raikkonen's 41. Here, I could just we can just turn this into a little bit of a segment.
Yeah, sure.
We'll play a guessing game. How old do you think Raikkonen is?
41. You just said it.
Yep. Yeah. All right, Alonso.
38.
39. And this is going in oldest to youngest. So you got a bit of a hint every time.
Okay, 39. Hamilton is 35.
36.
Oh, really?
Which, for reference, is over a decade older than Verstappen. Think about that one for a second. All right. Vettel. This one surprised me.
34.
33.
33. I knew he's significant. Like, people like to lump him and Lewis together, but Sebastian's, he's a few years younger. He's got a little more life left in him than.
And this is coming from a 21-year-old, so keep that in mind. But he's young. I did not think. I thought he was older than Hamilton.
Yeah,
I thought.
Yeah, you think he's quite a bit older because he again has been here for a long time.
Yep. All right. Sergio Perez, Daniel Ricciardo, and Bottas are all the same age.
31.
Yep.
Yes.
Antonio Giovinazzi
is 29.
27. Big,
really?
A little bit of a jump there.
Yeah, a little bit of a jump there.
Carlos Sainz.
25.
26, a decade younger than him.
Really?
Mm-hmm. Nicholas Latifi. I thought he was younger, honestly.
He's 23.
25.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
I know, right?
He's quite a bit older than the guys that he even came in with.
Yeah, and that's surprising to me. I thought I would have said, same thing as you. Pierre Gasly.
Pierre Gasly's 24.
25.
He's 25 as well.
Yeah.
Interesting. Okay.
Which, older than Max. It's just surprising. Max is such an anomaly to me.
Yeah, that's so weird because Pierre seems like he's younger than Max, but he's not.
Seems like he's got a less experience, which I think technically he does.
Yeah, he definitely does.
All right, Ocon.
23.
24.
Okay.
All right, then I guess Max.
I'm like 1 year under all of these guys, so I bet I've seen stuff that's older, and in the course of when I've seen it to now, they've had their birthdays.
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead.
All right, Max Verstappen.
23.
Yep. Charles Leclerc.
22. No, he's 23 as well.
23 as well.
Yes.
George Russell.
He's 22.
23.
He's 23 as well.
I know. I would have said 22 as well.
That's okay.
Lance Stroll.
23.
He's 22. I would have guessed older. I would have guessed 23 as well.
I would have guessed, 23 or 24 for Lance. He's another one of those guys that's been in a while. You forget how long Lance has actually been in.
Yeah, he's been in a hot minute. He's got his experience, and he's proven it. He's won, a race or two, and then gotten a couple poles, or maybe just the poles?
No,
I don't remember.
Just the one pole.
Anyway, Mazepin. This one surprised me.
22.
Yeah, he's 22, but I would have said second youngest.
Younger than that, yeah.
Yeah, I would have expected younger. Mick Schumacher.
21.
22.
22 for him as well.
20 days.
He has such a young-looking face.
Yeah, he's 20 days younger than Mazepin. Fun fact for you. March 22nd to March 2nd.
Interesting.
And then Norris, we know, is 21.
21, and Yuki, also 21.
Yep. Born in 2000. The only one on the grid in the 2000s.
Fascinating.
But yeah, that to me, that's a surprising list. I know it's extremely off topic, but I didn't think Daniel was older than Bottas. 2, I didn't think Hamilton was older than Vettel.
I think it's a great reminder at how young the sport really is.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I mean, like half the grid almost is under 25.
Yeah. Pretty darn close to half the grid.
That's incredible.
Yeah.
These young guys, like, jeez. I think that speaks to how good somebody like Kimi Räikkönen is to stay in it for so long.
Oh, yeah.
41 years old.
Yeah.
Oh, my gosh.
Let's see. He won the championship then when he was in his late 20s then, I think. Something like that. Because he won in 08. Right?
It's been a while.
But yeah.
Shout out Kimi Räikkönen, one of my favorite
I love
drivers
him.
on the grid. It's hard not to.
He doesn't do anything wrong.
No, he's never done anything wrong.
Yeah, and even if he makes a mistake, it's not like, it's like, oh, that cost someone the championship,
Yeah.
But yeah.
All right. Let's shift focus because actually this is actually kind of on focus. You know how I am. I'm browsing the Formula One website. I come across a quiz. The quiz, and I want you to take this because I've already taken it. I did not do well.
Yeah, I won't.
I think I got a 5 or 6 out of the 16. But the quiz is: can you name every driver that was on the grid for Max Verstappen's Formula One debut?
No way.
Yes. In 2015, aged just 17, he became the youngest driver in the history of the sport. So 6 years ago.
Yep, 6 years of experience.
6 years ago. Can you name the very first race, the 2015? Can you name the grid for the very first race of the season, the 2015 Australian Grand Prix?
Well, you just gave it away, but that was going to be my guess.
What?
You gave it away.
Grand Prix?
Yeah, you said you mean the track or like the location?
Can you name the drivers?
Oh, okay. You missed out on drivers. Or I missed.
Sorry.
You said it at first, and then I think you skipped. Okay. So
I will give you a hint. There is no Valtteri Bottas. There is not.
Interesting.
He originally qualified 6th, but was ruled out of the race after sustaining a back injury. So he is not. He is not on the list. So,
okay. All right.
First question. Ready?
Yeah.
They give you hints.
Oh, okay.
So
I thought it was just going to be a blind guess. Yeah.
Blind guess? No. They give you some hints.
Yep.
First question. This Mercedes driver took pole for the 2015 Australian Grand Prix. Who do you think it is?
I gotta think.
2015 Mercedes.
And we're talking about the 2016 year, right?
No. The 2015 year.
Well, the
2015.
pole. Max entered in 2015, sorry, then?
Yes.
Okay.
He entered in 2015.
All right, I'm going to go...
Mercedes.
I'm going to go with my gut, and I got to think of his name. No one shame me for not knowing it off the top of my head. Come on. German, blonde. Won 2016 championship.
You're thinking of Nico Rosberg.
Yep.
That is incorrect.
Yeah.
Lewis Hamilton.
Yeah.
That was a gimme. I feel like that was kind of a gimme. Mercedes driver taking pole. Come on, Chase.
I know, but I was hoping that my boy would have gotten
Nico.
Yeah, would have been moving up. But I was going to guess that Hamilton was on the grid anyway, so.
Yes. Okay, so next question. Second on the grid at this race, this driver quit F1 at the end of 2016.
Well, then it would be Nico.
Yes, that is correct. Nico Rosberg took second place, took P2, and only
Shout out my boy Nico, by the way.
I love Nico Rosberg as well. Okay, here's where the time really flies because third on the grid was a Williams driver.
Oh, no, I got it. Come on, brain, don't fail me now. What's his name?
I'll give you 10 seconds.
Oh, I can't think of his name in 10 seconds. He's the one who got in the rally crash, which ruined his career. He was a huge up and coming rookie, not at the time, but before his rally crash. He raced for Williams with Russell.
I'm not sure who that is, but this driver is Felipe Massa.
Oh, okay.
Is
Felipe was on Williams?
Felipe was qualified third for Williams.
Let me
look up who that is.
Yeah. You'll know him.
Okay.
Robert Kubica is who I was
Kubica. Okay. I don't know if he's in this or not. I don't think he is. This next question, 4th place. This Ferrari driver qualified 4th, having joined the team in 2015 after 6 successful years with another outfit.
Yeah, it's Vettel. Like, yes. The first joined it in 2015 is the first I'd give away. You could have stopped there.
All right. The 4th place qualifier's teammate, so Sebastian Vettel's teammate, qualified right behind him. Who is it? Ferrari.
Who was at Ferrari with Vettel?
Yep.
I'm pretty sure it's Raikkonen.
That is correct.
Oh, okay, yeah. I was like, wait, I thought he was out of the race, but that was Bottas that's out of this race. Yeah.
Oh, Bottas.
Raikkonen, yeah.
Okay. This is another kind of a gimme. Promoted to P6 on the grid for his home race was this Red Bull driver. Who is it?
Yeah, Daniel Ricciardo.
All right, good. I was like, oh, that's a gimme.
Yeah, I was worried when you said gimme because I was like, oh no, I hope I know it.
Okay, this one is tough. Okay, this is where we start to get to the middle of the grid. This is where I started to go, I have no clue. This Toro Rosso driver started 7th on his debut, and he won the 2014 Formula Renault 3.5 series, which is this was his debut year, Toro Rosso.
And obviously it's not Max, right?
It is not Max.
Yeah,
I'll give you a hint. I'll give you a hint. He is still on the grid currently.
He still races?
Still racing. Yep. He debuted in 2015, so he's a younger guy. He started out at Toro Rosso.
Because I know
Sainz.
I was gonna say I know Sainz was a Toro Rosso. You helped me there. I won't lie. I wasn't gonna say Sainz until you said he's still on the grid.
Yep, no problem. All right. This Lotus driver started 8th in Australia.
It's Grosjean.
You say Roman Grosjean. That is correct.
Let's go, baby.
Nice job. He had changed. Looks like, yeah.
Was there more to that hint? Sorry, I kind of jumped with the gun.
No, I wasn't even going to give you a hint because I honestly forgot who that was. Okay, this P9 was Roman Grosjean's teammate at Lotus, and this would be his last season in F1. Who is it?
Oh.
This is a hard one. You probably won't get this one.
Yeah, I was going to say this is rough because it means he stopped racing a year before I started watching this sport.
Yeah. I'll give you this one. This is Pastor Maldonado.
Never. Sorry, but never heard of him.
Yeah, this is tough. Okay.
I was just going to guess an old famous F1 driver, if I'm being honest.
Michael Schumacher.
No, he ended in Mercedes. We're good.
Yeah. Starting 10th for Sauber. So Sauber. This is Sauber now.
Force India. Then.
No, Sauber turned into Alfa Romeo.
Oh, did they? I thought it was Force India. Force India to...
No, Force India turned into Racing Point, turned into...
Yeah. And I think, was it Jaguar before Force India?
No. Well, it might have been. No, Jaguar was Red Bull. I think.
Oh,
it used to be Red Bull.
Yeah.
Okay. Starting 10th.
Two newbies just guessing.
Yeah. Starting 10th for Sauber, another debutante, first year in the sport, would go on to finish 5th in the race. Any clue?
So my hints are he's a rookie. It's Sauber.
But
pretty good rookie.
This guy is not racing in Formula 1 anymore. This is a tough one. I didn't get this one.
Will I even know the person?
Probably not.
All right, then just give it to me, please.
All right, Felipe Nasser.
Not Nasser, just Nasser. Okay. Any relation? Probably not.
No,
anyway.
I don't know. Okay. This You should get this one. This Red Bull driver, so Red Bull, qualified 12th, but his gearbox failed on the way to the grid, so he was out before the race started. And he was later dropped by Red Bull midway through 2016.
Oh, so I should get this one. He was dropped in 2016.
Only recently left the sport. And he was the only driver of his nationality.
This is rough because
you should know this one, Chase.
I should. Give me a minute because this is rough because my Red Bull knowledge is Vettel, Daniel, Max, Alex, and all the other people.
Mm-hmm.
He only recently left. Can I get a hint on the year he left?
Last year.
Oh,
he was out last year.
No, that makes it worse if I don't get it.
Out of the sport last year. Or he raced all of last year. So I guess this year was his first year.
Yeah. I understand. I get it. Oh, man. Oh, no.
Only one of his nationality in the sport, too. 10 seconds.
Oh, man, I can't get it. Is it... So he's at Red Bull at the time. Is it the old Toro Rosso dude? Wait, no, he left last year, so he wasn't in the race. Yeah, I can't get it. You'll say
Daniel
it.
Kvyat. Kvyat.
That's who I was just thinking. I thought he was in last season?
Yeah, he was here. He was in last season. He raced at AlphaTauri 1 year, and then they dropped him for Yuki. Yuki Tsunoda came in.
Okay, well that's awkward because I thought he was dropped in 2018. That was my guess. I didn't know he was at Red Bull that soon, but
yeah, yep.
That was my guess. My bad. I don't get that point, but that was who I was just thinking. But I thought he left in 2018, so I was like, oh no, that's not him.
Mm-hmm. Tough.
Anyway, yeah.
All right, Force India now. This Force India driver started 13th and finished 7th. Here's a big hint. The podium proving elusive throughout his career.
Oh, is it Nico Hülkenberg?
It is Nico Hülkenberg.
I didn't know he raced for Force India.
Yeah, he raced for Force India for a little bit.
Yeah, I liked him. He was cool.
I do too. All right, this is one you might also get. P14 on the grid was Hülkenberg's teammate at Force India. Still racing today?
Would it be Alonso?
No. There was one guy that stayed at Force India and Racing Point. You know who this is. We talk about him all the time.
Oh, it was Perez?
Yeah, Sergio Perez. Started 14th.
Oh, I thought... Okay, never mind, yeah.
Second Sauber driver, started 15th. He made his F1 debut with Caterham. I don't know that.
I don't know that reference.
Team, so I'm not... And honestly, I can't remember the answer to this one.
Is it someone I'll know?
You know what? Let me check.
Yeah.
Yes. This is someone you might know.
Okay.
He stayed with Sauber for quite a while.
Mm-hmm.
But he's not in Formula One anymore.
Mm-hmm.
He currently races in IndyCar.
Oh, that's tough because the only one I know that races in IndyCar is Grosjean, but I already answered him and I was already correct.
Not Grosjean. He was in the very first season of Drive to Survive. 10 seconds.
Yeah, I got no answer. I can't.
Marcus Ericsson. You remember that name?
I remember Ericsson. I don't remember the Marcus side. He was in the first Drive to Survive. Huh.
Yeah, he was in the very first season drive. He had a really nasty crash. I forget where it was. But I always liked him. I thought he was a nice guy. Sucks he didn't really work out in Formula 1. Okay, here we go. And this just proves how bad McLaren used to be. This McLaren driver in 15th outqualified his teammate and would start 16th for his 16th Australian Grand Prix.
Oh my!
A veteran.
Yeah, that's a huge veteran. Is it
a guy who had been at McLaren? He's still racing today. There's the hint.
Oh, then it's got to be Alonso.
It is Alonso.
Yeah, because
sorry, stop. Alonso's next. It's Jenson Button actually.
Oh, I was gonna guess One of those old guys. One of those old guys. Yeah.
Oh, that's crazy. I messed that up. I'm so sorry. Okay, so
No, you're
Jensen
good.
Button, and then the last one, who I thought was Alonso, was actually Kevin Magnussen. Kevin Magnussen.
Really?
Yeah, he replaced Fernando Alonso.
Oh, so Fernando was set to race. Okay.
Yeah, I don't know what happened to that year. Did he? Did
Well, give me
Alonso
the news,
leave?
Doc.
Did Alonso
Did I
leave?
do better?
Than me?
Yeah.
Yes, you did.
Let's go, baby.
I think you got 7 out of 16.
I'll take 7 out of 16.
I could
I
be
need to
off on
watch
that.
the older races, dude.
Honestly, I haven't. I haven't really been keeping score, but I think you got 7.
That's fine.
You definitely did better than me. You definitely got Grosjean.
Yeah.
And I didn't get that one.
I was happy about that.
And you
one.
got Perez. I didn't get Perez.
Uh-huh.
You got.
I got Nico, and I would have gotten.
I actually
Hamilton,
did.
but...
I did well. I actually got Lewis and Nico. I was like, boom, boom. I didn't get Kvyat either, but you didn't really either.
No, I if I could have thought of his name, and
I
then
forgot about Kvyat.
Yeah, I remembered him because I was questioning why he wasn't given another Red Bull shot. Back in the season, then I remembered he was already on Red Bull. But I got tripped up on the fact that I didn't know he's in the 2021 or 2020 season. I thought he left in 2019.
Nope. I
guess it makes sense, but yeah.
Yeah. All right, Chase. So looking forward, we've got Turkey, October 10th. That is in 1 week, roughly. Yeah. Roughly a week. I'm excited. I really like the Turkish track. And after that, United States. Shout out. Gang. Texas.
Gang.
I love that. We got a lot of good races coming up.
Yeah, and a new one.
A lot of good tracks. And the new one. Remind me, where is it again? Qatar. Excited for that. That's going to be great. Man, we're going to finish out the season in last 3. It's still tight.
Dude, it's like 2 points.
It's literally 2 points. Lewis in first, 246.5. Max in second, 244.5. That's tight.
Do you know how those half points are given out?
Are those for like fastest lap type stuff?
No, because fastest lap is 1. Winning's like 25.
Maybe like a point deduction for when they kept running into
that's the only thing I can think is like
2 or 3 race stretch where they were just running into each other.
Unless it's sprint racing gives out half points, but I don't think they do. I thought it was 3, 2, 1 for sprint
they
racing.
might be given that sprint race thing is all messed up. Which we've talked about that to death.
Sprint race points. Yeah, it's 1, 2, 3.
Okay, weird. Well,
or backwards, 3, 2, 1.
I'm sure if you did some digging, you can find out.
Yeah.
All right. So next week we've got Turkey. Give me your 1, 2, and your 3, Chase. What do you got?
Honestly, I have to say Max number 1 because we literally talked about it. You put Max in your top 3, and then you said, "Oh no, he's starting from the back of the grid," or you didn't even know that. You said, "Oh no, he's got a 6th place grid penalty."
Yeah.
He's not in the top 3. And then he started back of the grid and played second. I gotta put Max at number 1. He's either crashing out of this race or he's winning it. I mean, he's unstoppable right now. And then I want Lando's redemption arc. Lando, you better come in second.
Okay.
And then I want a McLaren redemption arc. I want Daniel third.
Okay. I like that. So Max Verstappen 1, Lando 2, Daniel 3. I like
McLaren 2, 3.
I like that a lot. I'm gonna go with I mean, this was a great race for Max, and I think he's gonna keep going. I think Max takes number 1. I think Perez takes number 2. Perez is due a podium. He hasn't had one in a while.
Yeah, I agree with that, but it's just his race here was a little disappointing. 9 to 9 or whatever.
Yeah, not great. But if I remember correctly, last year when we were on Turkey, Perez won.
Oh, was that? I thought he.
Am I off the goop on that? Perez, I distinctly remember Perez having a good race here in Turkey. So I'm gonna put Perez second, and third place I think will probably just be Lewis. I think this will be McLaren, a Red Bull 1-2. It'll be a nice weekend for McLaren, and then Lewis will do what Lewis does and come third. That's what I think.
Yeah, I'd either podium outcome if it's anywhere close to us. I'm happy with it.
All right, Chase. Well, once again, thanks for joining me. You don't have to do this, you know.
No, I love talking about it, dude. Talking about it's fun. It's a great hobby to have.
Absolutely.
He won in
Well,
Bahrain, by the way, in 2020.
oh, Bahrain.
Bahrain, yeah.
Bahrain. I love
So
saying that.
there it is.
Well, yeah, I remember he won in Bahrain.
Yep.
I forget what he did.
That was what his like 19 to first.
Yeah,
Was
that
it?
was an insane. That was just an insane race that allowed him to do that.
That is one. That's a great race.
Absolutely,
One for the
easily
legends.
the best of that. Like those 2 back-to-back races in Bahrain were nuts.
Yeah,
and for bad reasons. Obviously, we had the insanely the fireball crash with Romain Grosjean, which was, oh my gosh, that was insane.
yeah,
And then then the next race after that was Perez winning it, and the whole thing was just nuts.
yeah.
And I think wasn't that the race that George Russell was in the
Yeah, that was
Mercedes?
He placed ninth because wasn't it something with his tire or something?
Yeah, they messed up their tires. Oh my gosh, I wish we were doing the podcast then.
Right?
All right, Chase. Let's end it there.
Yeah, I'm good with that.
I think we can end it, and we'll see you guys next time.
Yep, see ya.